Hey there, it's Mary Sheila, and I hope you're having a lovely day. I'm excited to share with you a awesome salad, and I'll be sharing different variations. And this is a jicama and cucumber and avocado salad with a couple other extra touches. And this is a really hydrating salad, and I wanted to bring this forward today because a lot of people I know are doing either a low-carb diet or a keto diet. And I think there's a lot of great benefits in doing those kind of diets, but sometimes, people are forgetting about hydration. When we're eating those denser foods, we might be forgetting about all the hydration we get from the plant world. So it becomes a really important piece in staying healthy. When somebody's in ketosis, we're going to lose a lot more water and we're going to lose a lot more electrolytes. Now, you all probably have heard this 100 times that we are 70% water, just like the earth. We are not that different in that sense. So if we are very watery and eating that way might make us less watery and maybe a little bit more dehydrated, then we really want to make sure we're getting enough fluid. And so one of the things that I think is the most forgotten about when people are eating a little bit more low carb, not everybody, is we still need some kinds of carbohydrates, right? We still need carbohydrates, and those can be found as non-starchy, right? So non-starchy carbohydrates are things like jicama and things like cucumber. And, anytime you even juice vegetables, you start to get a lot of liquid out of them. They have a ton of liquid. They're very watery too, just like we are. And the other benefit of them is they pull up minerals from the earth, and they contain a lot of minerals, especially when you have white. Then there's a lot of electrolytes like potassium and magnesium and calcium. So those electrolytes actually act like electricity and like spark plugs in your body, and it's very essential because that helps the water move around. So I'm going to keep talking, but I'm going to start cooking because I'm hungry. So I have my jicama. I am so in love with jicamas right now. They are like my absolute favorite. And I have one that's already cut open, so I'm going to use that one today. And the first thing I'm going to do with the jicama is I'm going to just peel it. And that is because I don't eat the peels. The other great thing about jicamas is they are prebiotic, meaning they contain great food for our microbiome and our bacteria. And that is a really wonderful thing for us because we want to feed and nourish our microbiome because that's how we digest our food really well. So the first thing I'm going to do is just cut up this jicama, and I'm making a salad. So I want to make sure I cut the jicama in nice bite-sized bites that fit my mouth or whoever's going to eat it in a good way. So I'm just going to chop this up. Now jicama can oxidize pretty quickly, so I always like to get a little lemon or lime on it really quick so it doesn't. And this is a nice juicy one. So it's juicy. If I was going to juice it, I'd get a ton of water out of it. So this is a great way to get more hydration. And I mentioned earlier that we're about 70% water. We are 70% water. That means that water is the way our nutrients are transported throughout the body, right, through our blood. But water is also how our waste products leave the body. So, a lot of times when people are doing keto, they might be more dehydrated. And they might also become a little more constipated. And there's just not as much water coming in. So this is essential. So I'm cutting these into chunks. But one of my favorite ways, I've been eating this with a couple friends lately, is making big round slices and maybe putting a little nut butter on top, or sometimes putting goat cheese and avocado and pickles. Some yum ways to do it. So right off the bat, since I threw it in here, I'm going to throw a little lime on the scene just to keep it from oxidizing. And honestly, lime and jicama are a really great combination. So I'm just going to mix that up. Now I don't have to worry about the oxidization. And then I'm going to cut some cucumber. So cucumber is another really hydrating vegetable. I mean, that's why it comes in the summertime, so that we can actually get the, it contrasts the heat, right? It's got a ton of water in it. So I'm just going to cut it up. Sometimes I cut out the seeds a little bit, and some people react to seeds a little bit more. And so, if you're making this for a group, you can always just cut the seeds out a bit, and it just makes it a little bit easier for everybody to digest. And again, I'm just going to cut this into some nice bite-sized pizzas. And sometimes in the late fall, I make this identical salad, but I make it with apples instead of jicama, because that's what I usually have around, because I've got a couple apple trees, which I think this year with all the rain we've had, I'm going to have a lot of apples. So might be some fun apple lives, but that's down the road. I'm like just ready for summer and some warmth. It's not very warm here today in Northern California, but it's still beautiful. And it's still Sunday, so gotta love the Sundays. So there, I've got my jicama, and my cucumber. I'm just gonna do half of it. The other thing I'm gonna do is an avocado. Yum! I love avocados, and this avocado, yay, looks perfect. Sometimes you never know. Okay, so I'm gonna take my avocado. Now I'm going to just slice it, and real carefully, and then I'm gonna just pull it out of here. But what I'm gonna actually do first, I'm gonna leave it here for just a second, because I don't wanna make guacamole or mash it all up. I wanna have bite sizes of this. So now that I have my jicama and my cucumber, I'm just gonna take a couple herbs that I found in the garden. I've got some garlic chives, I've got some parsley, and I've got some thyme. And I'm just going to chop these up and add them to the party, because this, spices and herbs, this is like the foundation of medicine. They're always very activating to our digestive system. They have a lot of antimicrobial actions, and they really stimulate our digestion. So that's actually a great thing, a great combination. And so I'm gonna add my herbs. It would be a really great herb, but I just, I'm kind of lacking in my garden, would be mint. That would be really what I would use if I had my choice. Okay, so now I'm going to actually kind of make a little bit of a dressing, and I'm actually just going to grab a spoon to pull out my avocado. So I'm just going to give it a little bit more of a mix. And I have a little, you can use a vinegar, like apple cider vinegar. I just happen to have a little citrus hanging out in the fridge, so I'm going to put a little citrus in here. This is an orange. Lemon would work really good too. And I'm going to drizzle a little olive oil as well. And that will be a nice coating. And then I'm going to, once I kind of get things mixed up as much as I want, then I'm going to add my avocado. Again, I just want my avocado. I want it to get a little flavor from the dressing. I just don't want to get it super broken up, so that it's very visible in the salad. I can actually have bites of it. I love avocado, and I'm actually just going to do the whole thing because I'm sharing this with a friend, and we both love avocados. And there we have it. Now, the last little secret blast ingredient, I am going to do one more of these, the other half of my lime. And the last ingredient that's going to really put this over the top, super simple, is spacing out sesame seeds. So I have some toasted black and white sesame seeds, and these are just going to add a really nice flavor. I love making little spice blends with sesame seeds. It just makes everything taste so good. So you can put as many of these as you want. I'm just doing a couple tablespoons. And there you have it. I've got this beautiful, hydrating, electrolyte-rich salad. And this still, if you're doing low carb or keto, this is still very low carb. This is very keto, but it's very hydrating, right? So we have to kind of think, we have to remember that the plant foods, you know, the foods that grow from the earth, sometimes they're under the ground like the jicama, or they come in the trees or on the plants. Those need to really be the basis of our diet. Even if we're doing different things and experimenting with the mix of ratios of our macronutrients, the plant foods probably now more than ever really are going to help keep us nourished and kind of protected from the toxicity out there. And they're just delicious. So thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, you can share them below, and I'd be happy to do my best to answer them. And I hope everybody has a wonderful day. All right, thanks. Bye.